What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today I want to talk to you guys about some of my favorite games that came out for 2024. With the year coming to a close very soon, I think it is a great time for me to go back, reflect on some of my favorite titles that came out for the year. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, it should come as no surprise to you that a lot of these games are going to span across multiple genres. I'm talking about platformers, first-person shooters, JRPGs, along with other genres mixed in there as well. Also, if there are any games that are big releases, along with small releases as well, that I'm not talking about in this video, there's a very good chance that I have not played those games yet. So if you have any recommendations that did come out this year of games that I should check out, comment them down below because I would love to check out some really awesome and fun games. So of course, without further ado, let's dive right into this video, take a look at some of these awesome titles that I loved so much that I consider to be some of my favorites of 2024 right after the intro. Now, the first game that I want to talk about on this list is Palworld. I remember when this game first came out, I thought it was some kind of Pokemon ripoff with guns in it. But once I decided to give the game a shot, I was blown away by it and addicted to the game really fast. I really enjoy the open world atmosphere of how you are able to go around and capture different pals. And not only do your pals allow you to use different abilities to fight other pals, beat bosses, and help you capture other pals as well, but also use their different abilities to help you at your home base. Now, from what I've heard, the game also has a lot of similar traits to another game called Ark, but I haven't played that game, so I can't really speak on it. But what I can speak on was that Palworld was incredibly fun, and I really enjoyed not only going across, capturing different pals, trying to go down that checklist of the different pals I've captured, but also upgrading the home base, gathering materials to upgrade myself along with my tools as well. The game was incredibly fun. It was easily one of my favorites of 2024 for good reason. Now, another amazing game that did come out that I really did enjoy was Sonic X Shadow Generations. Of course, me being a massive Sonic fan, it was only right for me to pick this game up, and I really enjoyed going through the previous levels as Shadow from the different Sonic games that he has been in over the years, and being able to go in on the backstory of Shadow the Hedgehog. The game was incredibly fun. I really enjoyed it. However, two things that I really did not like about the game was, number one, I felt like Westopolis was a must to have in the game. After all, it is the first level of Shadow the Hedgehog, and when with a game that is going back and looking at Shadow's past, I think that is a level that has to be in the game. Also, I did not like the censorship at all with the Sonic Generations portion of the game. I thought it was very unnecessary, annoying, and of course, the community as a whole agrees with me on that. But putting those negatives aside, I do think the game was an incredible title. It was really nice to see that this game did get nominated for one of the games of the year for the Game Awards. But overall, I have to say this was a really solid title that I enjoyed, and it was just a great game overall. Now, the first-person shooter that I want to talk about on this list is XDefiant. I remember when I first played this game, I had a total blast playing it. And of course, I could easily say the same thing as I continued playing the game. I like how Ubisoft with this game paid homage to multiple Ubisoft franchises, whether it was Watch Dogs or the Tom Clancy games, along with the added map that was added later on that was themed off of The Crew. It was a very fun game. It also had some pretty cool game modes as well. Of course, you had your standard team deathmatch that was added to the game later on. There was also the game modes where you would have to push the package package to the goal, along with also defending areas as well. Now, I find it very unfortunate that this game is going to have its servers shut down very soon, or it may even have its servers shut down by the time that this video is uploaded. It's a very unfortunate thing, but what I can say, back when I did have the opportunity to play it, at least I was able to experience a pretty fun game that had a lot to offer to it. It also kind of reminded me of a little bit of Overwatch mixed in with the golden era of Call of Duty, which I can say are two great things that I really did enjoy. This was a very superb game that I did enjoy when it came to the lineup of 2024. Now, a JRPG that I do want to talk about in this video is Neptunia GameMaker Revolution. Now, with me and Hyperdimension Neptunia, I used to really love this franchise back with the first few years of it, but unfortunately, as time went on, I felt that there were way too many spin-offs being made for it, and it was just going way too far away from focusing on its mainline story. While this game is indeed a spin-off of the Hyperdimension Neptunia franchise, I do think it's a pretty solid spin-off. I like how the game is themed off of goddesses that are themed off of the Apple Pippin, the Atari Jaguar, and the 3DO. Of course, being a Neptunia game, I do enjoy the game references that were sprinkled into it, because after all, that is a selling point of the Hyperdimension Neptunia series. And what I did like, of course, your standard Hyperdimension Neptunia humor that would come with the game itself. Overall, I thought this was a pretty solid Hyperdimension Neptunia title. Not really too much to complain about it. Of course, I do wish that there were more mainline games, but looking at this game as a whole, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I gotta say, pretty good JRPG from this year. Now, the elephant in the room that I must talk about in this video is Astro Bot. Astro Bot is an incredible platformer that I was blown away by. I really liked how this game not only was a very fun platformer with the different levels, the platforming aspects, along with everything else, but I liked how the game paid so much homage to PlayStation's history. Of course, I enjoyed collecting the different bots, how they were themed off of multiple different characters throughout PlayStation history, and it had a pretty cool soundtrack. It implemented a lot of cool features that really took advantage of what the PS5 was capable of. Now, this was an amazing platformer that I had to play. I loved playing every second of it, and if for whatever reason you have not picked up this game or have not played it yet, you got to do yourself a huge favor and play it. It is just an incredible game, and I think it rightfully won Game of the Year. Team Asobi, or Asabi, I forget what it's actually pronounced, they hit the nail on the head with this title. They did an amazing job with this game. Now, I do think that this game is pretty underrated, and I want to talk about is Sandland. So Sandland is a game that is themed off of Akira Toriyama's manga Sandland. And for those that are familiar with the name Akira Toriyama, you will already know that that is the man that is responsible for the Dragon Ball franchise. The reason why I think that this game is pretty underrated is, yes, it is a very fun game. Yes, it is a game themed off of an anime and a manga, but I think what's really special about this game is that you don't necessarily have to be a fan of anime or manga to appreciate this game. This game is an open world game where you are traveling across the world of Sandland and you are trying to find the legendary spring to help bring water back to the residents of Sandland. Of course, being an open world game, there is a lot to find and a lot to explore. Lots of fun side quests. Of course, the main story is a pretty good one at that as well. But what I think makes the game very underrated is that it's just a very incredible open world game. I really feel that this game can easily compete with a really top quality AAA title, and I do think that this game was not really talked about enough when it came to what the game had to offer. Now here's another game that I really enjoyed, and that is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. This is the very first Warhammer game that I have ever played, and I can truthfully say I've enjoyed it so much. I feel like this game is a game that really reminds me of the 7th generation days when it came to some of those campaigns and online multiplayer that you would get off of a 360 or PS3 game, which in my book is an awesome thing. This game really felt like a game that I was missing for a very long time to play, and it has filled that void. What I really like about this game is not only does the campaign offer a really fun and unique experience that I have not gone through for a very long time, but also the multiplayer as well reminds me so much of some of those great days that I used to have playing on my 360 and the PS3. Overall, I can truthfully say this is a game that I really enjoyed when I picked it up for 2024. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Please be sure to check out these videos here, and here. After all, I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting tips, and other video game related subjects. So be sure to keep an eye out every Monday and Friday where I upload consistently, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.